Ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to begin in 5 minutes, I have a few notes to make before starting today's program. First of all, I would like to have you complete the online evaluation form for us. Please scan this QR code and fill in the form after the talk. Secondly, if you would like to ask any questions for the speaker, please press the blue raise hand button to raise your hand or ask the question via the chat box. Finally, to avoid disturbing background noise during the talk, please make sure your microphone is always on mute, only opening it when you're invited to speak. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chloe Luke from the Department of EIE. It is my great honor to be the MC today. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all the students to the Knowledge and Exploration Talk Series organized by the Students Affairs Office. This talk series aims to broaden students' horizon beyond their selected academic field. We will invite guest speakers from different areas to share their expertise areas as you want to know more about, but may not have chance to learn in your studying program. For example, students majoring in sciences may want to explore more about culture, design, or history, while students studying arts may want to know more about artificial intelligence, robot, or other technological and scientific concepts and developments. These talks are going to be held in a forthcoming semester, with focus on specific areas and its applications. To kick off the talk, namely enhancing immunity via physical relaxation techniques, we are very pleased to have Professor Esmond Mock, the Dean of Students and the Director of Students Affairs Office, to deliver the welcome address. Professor Mock, please.
Good afternoon, students, teachers, and colleagues. Welcome you all to this Dean of Students Talk Series. Let me introduce our today's speaker, Mr. Roy Ngai. And Roy obtained his Master of Physical Education in Teaching and Administration from Springfield College in Massachusetts, USA. And he is a certified health fitness instructor of the American College of Sports Medicine. Currently, Roy is the Vice President of Executive Committee, Physical Fitness Association, Hong Kong, China. He is also the lecturer and examiner of the Stress Management and Physical Relaxation Techniques Instructor course. Since 2018, Roy has been serving as the Chief Editor of the Health and Fitness Community Journal. The topic of his today's talk is enhancing immunity via physical relaxation techniques. The COVID-19 pandemic is creating new challenges to us. It changes the normal practice of our commercial, educational, and social life. To reduce stress and anxiety caused by the continuous precautionary measures, Roy is going to share with us some physical relaxation techniques. For example, breathing exercise, progressive deep muscle relaxation, and aerobic training. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Roy.
Okay, thank you, Professor Mock. Hi, everybody. This is Roy. Good afternoon. I would like to share my presentation, this PowerPoint. Oh, wrong. Sorry for the waiting. This is today's outline. We have three sections today: lecture, practicum, and Q&A session. So how COVID-19 affecting you? I think everybody knows that this is a global crisis. Everybody, we have to wear our face masks, and we got airport lockdown, and the 14 days quarantine is still in effect. And also that all the public facility lockdown, so inconvenient. But a good news, today I heard some release from the government. And also we are affected by the social distance rules. I think everybody are suffering about this. So what else? I think everybody are feeling about the infection, including yourself and your family member. And also our financial situation, like our job opportunity and also the support services, all our concern. And also, do you have difficulty in sleeping or concentration? And I think somebody may consume more in drinking or smoking, or even the chronic health problem and mental health problem is on the way. So somebody tell me that the stress, you don't know how the stress affecting you, but this checklist can tell you how to quantify. Do you have this symptom? Maybe you have time, you can try to do it. So we're talking about the stress is two words, fight or flight. Actually, fight or flight is our survival our survival ability. It lets our body to prepare to confront either challenge or danger. So if you can cope with the stress, actually this is a challenge. But if not, if the stress is prolonged, and the coronary heart disease or something else will happen. That always because of the stress hormone, especially what we call the cortisol. So how this stress mobilize? Actually, two ways. is the autonomic system and our endocrine system. The autonomic nervous system is the immediate response by our nervous arousal, and if the stress is a prolonged response, we always use stress hormone. So this is the organ, the kidney. This is adrenal gland to secrete adrenaline and cortisol. And this is our thyroid near our throat that secrete thyroxine. Those are stress hormones. So what else? And our psychological, physiological structure here is our cerebral cortex, subcortex, and reticular activating system. Usually, our cerebral cortex is to identify the threat, and we find danger, and then the subcortex is the coordination process, including our emotion. And the nervous system is like fiberglass to transfer the message very fast transmission. This is our brain. Actually, if our cerebral cortex recognize the challenge, the fear, and some fighting things, and our subcortex will react to the threat. And then if the crisis is come very urgent, so we take the way of autonomic system to react through this way. If the stress is a prolonged stress, so we got to from this way is pituitary gland to secrete stress hormone. So this is the diagram to explain actually our hypothalamus receive the message from the cerebral cortex, and then if the first if the stress is so urgent, and so we take the neuron sympathetic nerve system very fast and direct to our angular medulla. This is to the end product will be adrenaline. The second way is for the prolonged response is by the endocrine system, a series of change, and then to the adrenal cortex. The end product is cortisol. So this chart will show how the stress affect our body, including the stress hormone will accelerate our blood pressure, blood glucose, heartbeat, and so far the also the muscle tension, and also all the super energy source from our liver and our fat storage, all will be drawn out. Those, do remember that those are super energy source to allow our body to confront with the stress. But what so happened that we draw out all the energy source, but we do nothing. What else? Those substance will stick to our vessels. So atherosclerosis is like that. I think everybody knows that. The other, I would like to point out cortisol. Actually, it helps us to speed up our metabolism to handle the stress, to react to the stress. But it also have a side effect is alter our immune system response. And also it will suppress our digestive system, reproductive system, and even our growth process in the childhood. So, and also it will affect our brain, that our mood, motivation, and fear emotions. So if the stress is a long-term, a prolonged stress, it will overexposed to, if our body overexposed to cortisol, actually it will affect our whole body, disrupt our process, and so many sickness will be on the way. So a term called psychosomatic disease. Psycho is psychological. Somatic means our body. This so happened, this is I think cancer, coronary heart disease, and hypertension is the top 3 crisis of our body. So I would like to introduce exercise. Why? Stress detoxification. I think stress hormone, we know that it triggers our body to release so many harmful byproducts, including the muscle tension, zero cholesterol, heart rate, blood pressure, and even the anxiety. Those are deteriorating our body. And exercise is help us to utilize those byproducts. This product we refer this toxic. So clever people, they know to utilize it before it result in illness or infection to our body. So we call this is detoxification. And if you would like to compete in exercise, here I would like to emphasize aerobic is the key. Why? Because it's more efficient, effective, and sweating will be the proof. So here, so many methods to cope with stress. And today I would like to focus on exercise and some relaxation techniques. First, our breathing. We have 3 types of breathing, including the upper coastal breathing. That means to inhale as deep as possible. Middle coastal breathing means that deeply inhale, but do not use extra force. And diaphragmatic breathing, and also we call it a belly breathing, that actually use our diaphragm to act. And this is the chart to explain that. If you use a coastal breathing, we use our rib cage. Actually, we raise up our rib cage and to do it. And belly breathing, actually we use our diaphragm here, and the movement will be happen at the diaphragm. So how to start it? It's easy. First, we got a comfortable support. You may lie on a bed or a exercise mat with a pillow under your head and knees, or you may sit in an armchair with support. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Somebody, they prefer nose, that's also okay. And you may put one hand on your belly and another on your chest to feel that which part is raising. So how to do it? First of all, we take a few big deep breaths. That's to allow you to feel the tension and relaxation. So after the deep breathing, and you may return to the belly breathing. So during the exercise, you can close your eyes to concentrate. And you may also add imagination. When you breathe in, you imagine a sense of peace and calm. And when you breathe out, you may imagine that the air lives with tension and anxiety. And you may also use some word or phrase. Maybe you breathe in good when you breathe in, and breathe out bad, simply. And when you are in place of the practice, and then you can change it. Just let go the breathing, and it become a passive breathing. What we call that's it breathes me. And enjoy the moment, the relaxation moment, for about 10 to 20 minutes. Another technique we call progressive deep muscle relaxation. So many people, they don't know how to relax their body, especially the muscle. So this is a straightforward method, very easy. And first, you contract your one part of your muscle, and then suddenly let go, and you may feel the contrast, and then learn how to relax your muscles. So this is from a voluntary contraction to induce an involuntary relaxation. So how to do it? First, find a quiet place with privacy, and you have to eliminate the interference surrounding you, including your mobile phone, and you may put a small notice for do not disturb, and telling people you are doing your good session. And of course, you got to have a comfortable support. So armchair and exercise mat are suggested. And then you have to remove the obstacles, including maybe your tight clothing, your glasses, and contact lens. And an option is you may also apply background audio sound, like soft music or nature sounds, to enhance your atmosphere. So just inhale when you contracting the muscle. For example, your shoulder, raise up your shoulder for 5 to 10 seconds, and then exhale and suddenly let go, release. So you can give yourself 10 to 20 seconds to relax, and then move to the next muscle group. During the contraction and relax. You may also add imagination on the way. Just the same, when you contract, and you may add release, feel the tension, and then release the tension. So this method is progressively contract and release, relax one by one, from one muscle group to the other, throughout the whole body. So here is the suggested muscle group you can follow, from lower legs to our trunk, our core muscles, and our arms, and then our head. So one by one. So now I change the topic to the most infectious group in the pandemic crisis. And here that everybody note that the elderly and people with chronic disease will more likely easier to get infected. So as you get older, your risk of being hospitalized is increased. This is a chart. And this is a statistic from US. People over 65 have a high risk. You see, 8 out of 10, very high ratio. So how come the elderly are easy to get contract of the disease? It's probably because of the thymus. The thymus atrophying with age, and that means that they produce fewer T cells to fight off the infection. Another reason is our bone marrow is become less efficient in producing the stem cell. That means also we have less immune cells production. So happen the chronic disease patient like cancer, diabetes, coronary heart disease with the similar condition. Those we call it immunodeficiency. So this is our thyroid here. The T cells is mature in this side, and this is our bone marrow, and is to produce white blood cells here. So very important here. So talking about our immune system, we have two divisions, the innate immunity and adaptive immunity. So the innate immunity refer to the first line of our defense. And the adaptive immunity is referred to a specific reaction and the immunological memory. This memory is very important. This learned from the experience. So the innate immune system has the first line is our anatomic and physiological barrier, including this. And the more important is our white blood cells. We call it leukocyte, including the natural killer cell, what we call NK cells, very important. This can help remove the unnecessary cells. And also the phagocyte including those, and also is to defend our body in the front line. This is phagocytosis. The second adaptive immune system, so important, is the lymphocyte. Lymphocyte have two types of cell. What we call is B lymphocyte or B cell and T cell. Actually, the lymphocyte start out in our bone marrow, and they reside and mature into B cell, and then some of the B cells they transfer to our thymus and mature into T cell. And what else? B cell actually like a body military intelligence system. It will respond to seek out the target and organize defense. Whereas the T cells, like the soldier, are responsible to destroy the invader. So happen those lymphocytes develops from our early childhood. So this is from learning. And people get the immunized always. We take this immunization is from vaccination. So this chart to show the T cells, how it activate an action. You may find that even though the cytotoxic T cell or the effector T cells both has memory T cell. This is very important to remember the invader. So this is the whole chart to explain that. To recap, the innate immune system, immunity, including the barrier, chemical barrier, and the important things is our leukocytes, a number of leukocytes. And the adapted immunity is including the antibody memory and also the T cell and B cell. So important in our body. So the ACSM recommend that regular exercise of moderate and vigorous intensity has shown that it can improve our immune response to vaccination. And also it can improve various immune markers. What's that? Including HIV, cancer, CV disease, diabetes, cognitive impairment, and obesity even. This is rely on the ability of producing the effector of lymphocyte. Again, NK cells and T cells is very important in our body. They help recognize and kill the infected cells. That's why the older people, they don't have this, or they have less number of this, so they couldn't recognize the virus. So actually, our body have to get a state, what we call is homeostasis state, a balanced state, so that our body can live healthy. And here I would like to explain that exercise, a term, reactive oxygen species, and those are free radicals. And this type of substance sometimes has its function. They produce by the effector lymphocytes, actually they help to remove the unnecessary cell or for the what we call is apoptosis. To balance it, our body can produce a substance called antioxidant. Antioxidant. It helps to neutralize the excessive production of free radicals. So when our body exercise, and it will produce more and more free radicals. So, and our body have to generate enough antioxidants to supplement. Supplementation is good when the supplementation good enough, and we can balance, neutralize the oxidative effect. Actually, it will depends on the exercise mode, how hard or how long, and of course your fitness level. Okay, what if the exercise is exhausting? That means it will suppress our immune system because of the poor recovery of ROS neutralization. So antioxidant is very important in this process. So why I mentioned this, somebody may ask, exercise training is good or bad? Actually, it depends on your training mode. If we train our body in the way of a moderate intensity, that means mild to somewhat hard intensity level, and last less than 1 hour, that's good enough to stimulate what we call leukocytosis. Leukocytosis means to increase the effector lymphocyte, the number of lymphocytes. And actually, if the exercise not too hard, the post-exercise recovery will be shorter, maybe 2 to 3 hours, and we can recover. So this is a balanced oxidative stress. But if the oxidative stress is prolonged, like if your exercise is too hard and too long, more than 1 hour, and it will suppress your leukocytosis. That because the cortisol production increase. So this diagram shows that when we commit in the moderate intensity exercise, it actually will enhance our immune system because it stimulates that more immune cells production during, and you get a balanced recovery. But if you take part in a very hard, intense exercise, you may find that here has an open window. And this period, what we call is immunosuppression. In this period, you will very easy to get through it because it is an open window. And so far, I would like to introduce runner's high effect. This is related to a substance we call endorphin. When our body exercise and our brain will secrete a substance of endorphin, and it will reduce your perception of pain. That means that a positive feeling in our body. And the feeling described as euphoric, very happy, easy, and relaxed. So this runner's high always accompanied with a positive self-esteem in life. That's why people they have habit in the morning they exercise. They will never give up even though the adverse weather. And endorphin is safe because it is cell production and it's not like morphine and it will not lead to addiction or dependency. So the CDC have a guidelines of that. Moderate exercise each week for at least 115 minutes. This is the standard. And do moderate exercise. Walking is the best. Easy and low impact. Everybody know how to do it. And it's that even though a small amount, so don't ignore it. It has a cumulative effect. Even though additional 10 minutes per day, it will have a huge impact to your health. So this is refer to the heart rate, how to monitor our intensity. Actually, the formula is 202 minus our age. So the range is here. I think it's so common. And this is recommended by ACSM. Those methods apart from the talk test. That means when you exercise with your peer, you can carry on your conversation during the training, heart rate, and also the perceived effort here. From 0 to 10, actually, we recommend from the moderate, from the 3 to 7 is the range. What you feel. So aerobic training, the principle we always refer to feet. Frequency, about 2 to 5 times a week. The intensity, what refer to our training heart rate or training zone or the perceived of exertion. And the time usually at least 20 minutes because we got to stimulate our circulation system. You got to sweat to get the effect. So type of training, that's up to you. Usually the exercise with a rhythmic and the moderate intensity is not too high, and we can do it for a prolonged time. Those are like walking, cycling, swimming, and so far. So many choice. So this is the type of exercise. Actually, we have high impact versus low impact. Like treadmill running is high impact because the impact on your foot. Okay, and this is the low impact elliptical trainer. And also some training is weight bearing and some is non-weight bearing, like exercise in the water is non-weight bearing. This is a weight bearing under hydro fitness, it's very bearing. So here is some guideline for your tips. Like you have warm up, cool down, you have fun, and a lot of consideration. 10 years ago, I have an interview by the newsletter. It is also mentioning exercise to reduce stress. And also I introduced the progressive muscle relaxation like this. You may find that from leg, shoulder, hands, like that. Okay, this is the end of today's lecture. And coming, I would like to introduce some practical, some skill. So let's start the breathing exercise first.
Comfortable position. Begin by taking a deep breath in and a long, relaxing breath
This is a breathing
out.
exercise.
The idea here is to achieve a slow and steady breath.
I got the sound.
Go ahead and place one hand on your chest and your other on your abdomen, if this feels comfortable for you. Now try and keep your chest rather still and have your abdomen expand and contract as you deeply breathe. Some people find it helpful to count while they take their deep breaths. For example, you may count like this. In, 2,
First of all, take a
3,
deep
4.
breath to feel
Out,
the tension.
2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Down. You can begin by taking a few deep, relaxing breaths. Let's begin by bringing attention to your feet. Curl your toes in tightly to feel the tensing muscles of the foot, of both feet. Hold this for a few moments before releasing the tension and relaxing the feet. Do you notice the difference? Noticing the difference between a tense and relaxed muscle is the purpose of this exercise. Now we're going to repeat this relaxation exercise with different parts of the body. Now point your feet down, pointing the toes down toward the floor, feeling the tension in your calf muscles. Hold that for a few moments and release. Once again, noticing that change from moments of tension and moments of relaxation. Now, bringing attention to the thigh muscles, point the toes upward toward the ceiling, feeling the tension in the large muscles of the thighs. Hold that for a few moments, and when you're ready, begin to release.
Let go.
Now bring attention to the buttocks, tightening the muscles of the buttocks as you sit or lie on the floor. Once again, holding this for a few moments,
and then go to the
and gently
buttocks.
Relaxing. Bringing attention to the belly, to the muscles of the abdomen, and tensing these muscles as if you're bringing your belly button in, pushing your belly button in toward the spine, and holding here for a moment and gently relaxing. Noticing the back, And here, just gently arching the lower back and seeing if you can feel
Then
the tension along the
back.
muscles in the back as you arch the back.
Tense your back muscle.
Hold for a moment or two, and then slowly release. Working our way up to the shoulders, a place where we tend to hold a lot of tension. Bringing your shoulders up towards your ears, squeezing them up, holding them for a
Shoulder.
moment, and
Try to raise
slowly
it up
and
close to your
gently
ear.
releasing
Feel the tension
the shoulders.
and relax.
Now focusing on the hands, making the hands into a fist and squeezing tightly. Hold it another moment and
Hold your fist
slowly release.
And let go.
Now working up to the arms, you can just gently keep the fists if you like and bring the lower arms toward the upper arms. Pulling the forearms up towards the upper arms, tightening the biceps, and slowly releasing. And finally, bringing attention to the face and the mouth. Here, we're going to squeeze our eyes tight, holding them shut tight, pursing the
Your face
lips,
and mouth.
holding for a moment, and slowly
Feel the tension
relaxing.
on our face.
Once you've tensed and relaxed,
Okay. Sorry for the technical problem about the sound effect. Actually, we can replace it by clicking the link there, and so you can review the video. And actually, during the practice, we can also add our imagination, what we said when we contract our muscle, we inhale and we imagine this is a stressful and anxiety, all to release and relax your body and relax the muscle, and then to gain the relax and free and comfortable feeling, actually. And the next, I would like to introduce another video that is HIIT video. It is produced by the PE section here, and those activities you may note that we use our body weight to exercise, so easy, and you can exercise one by one and to our different muscle group in our body like this. Actually, we exercise 30 seconds and then rest 30 seconds. Okay, I speed it up. Okay. is shoulder take, and so many exercise introduced, and throughout the video, this is stopper to train up our back muscle here. So if you have time, you are welcome to visit our website. Easy to find. And this is recommended because everybody can do it at home, easy. And you may do it in a different level of difficulties, just like this demonstration. So I think that's good enough today. Thank you for your watching.
Thank you, Mr. Ngai, for the interesting sharing. Please stay for the next session. The next coming up is a Q&A session. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Adrian Liu, the Physical Education Officer of SAO, to act as the facilitator. Mr. Liu, please.
Very much for Mr. I's talk on how to stay strong by having some exercise and relaxation method. And now we are going to the questionnaire or Q&A sections. As has been taught before, you can raise your hands by using the chat box or using the Zoom software for having some questions. I will turn on your mic and you can speak through the device. And the other way is to use the chat room chat box to type in your questions, and I will try to spell it out and let Mr. I to share with us what is his opinion. Let's talk about who can have a question on what he has talked about on today on how to being motivated to do some exercise at home, or even when you have some question on how to do the exercise or start to do the exercise, you can just come out and ask. Please raise your hands if you want. Anyone? Okay, I found a question which is on the chat box. The question is like talking about which one of the exercise do you think is the most effective?
Thank you for the questions. My answer is different people has different preference. So the first answer is you like this type of exercise the most. This is your best exercise, because exercise need motivation. You have to commit. So maybe somebody like jogging, running, and the other like swimming. What else? So this is the answer.
Okay, there's another question. I will firstly talk in Chinese because he wrote it in Chinese. 為何世界級運動員 NBA from or soccer 仍然會患上新冠肺炎 ？Why there is still some well elite athletes like in the NBA or football still have the chance to have the COVID-19?
Yeah. Even though you are elite athletes, nobody can guarantee you get rid of the infection. But the most important thing is your immune system. Your immunity is strong enough, then you can fight for that, and you are the survivor. Vice versa, you will be the cases.
Okay, thank you very much. Another question from a student, Lily. Hello, I have stress-induced exit with food. Do you have any suggestion on changes of lifestyle? Stress-induced exit.
You mean the stomach access?
Yeah.
Actually, stress will induce muscle contraction. The muscle contraction not only our skeletal muscle, but also affecting our organs muscles, including our stomach, our bladder, or the whole body. So
How to change?
Change. It is depending
The lifestyle.
how you handle your stress, because different people with different stress, and of course, learning relaxation technique is the one, and actually it has multi-factor affecting your situation. May I use screen to explain? So you may find your answer here. To affect a person, that do you have a supportive network? And of course, the attitude is very important. What we call is positive attitude, to think positively. What we mentioned, exercise important. I have mentioned before, and some relaxation techniques can help you to remove or lower down your anxiety. But this is only in the period. So you got to learn about your lifestyle, including healthy diet, your rest and sleeping, and even though your lifestyle, including do you smile always, and also time management. So happens so many factors affecting you on the way. So try to look into each point, maybe help.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Still a lot of questions that we can deal with. The other one is, do it mean running marathon? As you mentioned before, if the distance or the duration of the exercise is too long, is it harmful to our health by running in a marathon, as it is more than an hour or even 2 or 3?
Actually, it depends on your fitness level. If you are fit, you good fit enough, I think a long distance running may not affecting you. But if, for example, to run a marathon is a very stressful oxidative stress in this participation. So in this period, we don't suggest to take part in competition because too long, and it will induce what we call open window phenomenon. So you got good recovery to compensate, to balance the oxidative stress. So if the pandemic condition is good, I suggest to go ahead the competition. Otherwise, take a rest.
How about if that person who wants to have a training on how to run a marathon, what is your suggestion?
I'm also a marathon runner. I'm over 65. I also compete in marathon for many years. My experience is you have to, apart from the training of your cardiovascular system, that means you have to run more to accumulate your mileage. Let's say for at least 40 km per week, for example. Apart from this, you got to know how to strengthen your lower limbs, especially your knee, the muscle of your knee joint. So many people, they train very hard, but they couldn't finish, always because they got the knee pain in the middle on the way and press them to give up the race. So my suggestion is when you take part in marathon training, don't ignore your strengthening to your knees.
Okay. One more question as the extension of the marathon. As the last one, does it appropriate to wear the mask for sports? What is your suggestion?
Mask actually is not a good thing, but for safety. So what I suggest is, because when we do exercise, especially doing the regular exercise, our respiratory, our breath will increase and will wet, make the mask become wet and lost the function of the mask. So I personally, I don't recommend doing regular exercise to wear mask. So when you do exercise, I prefer to do it in outdoor and a more safe environment. So then at that type of environment, you may take off your mask. Like you go to hiking or to the country park, and so you may consider to remove your mask. Otherwise, put mask is more safe.
Depends.
Yeah.
We shift to another dimension with the relaxation that you have talked about. A person who asked about how many whole body sets of rounds of progressive deep muscle relaxation should we do? What is your recommendation?
Actually, if you do the whole body, that is a comprehensive relaxation. That's good. But if you don't have enough of time, you may even do part of them, or maybe you may concentrate on the part you want to relax. Let's say I got a neck pain or a back pain, and then you may try to contract your shoulder and relax, or arch your back like that, arch your back and relax in your office, right? And also, if you got anxiety, worrisome, and you may also contract your facial muscle, like your forehead, and squeeze your jaw, your mouth, something like that. So, no model answer. Actually, do more, relax more, and you can do it everywhere. Of course, you got to find a place with privacy, quiet and safe. Just find a corner and then you can start to do it. Or even though when you take the bus or ferry, you can quietly sit and contract your feet like that. I have a training before your interview. Yeah, you may go to the toilet, and after the toilet, and then you can get some contraction and relax to gain a good condition before the interview. And also sleeping. So many people say that I sleep for more than 8 hours, 10 hours, but I still cannot relax. So happen that people get in fell asleep, and their muscle is still in a contraction, what we call muscle brace, for the whole night. So after the sleep, you still feel tired and soreness, even though some complain that they got muscle pain. That's because you sleep in the tense condition. So if people, you know how to relax your muscle before you fell asleep, that you will get a quality of sleep. So even though 4 hours, 5 hours, if you can relax your body before sleeping, and this is good recovery.
As I saw, there is still another question on how to interpret some information on the smartwatch, and said there is a term called 血氧饱和度. That means the oxygen uptake or oxygen situation. What is the meaning of that terms?
Yeah, those will indicate that how many oxygen you can uptake. So what we call is oxygen uptake, the condition. Fitter people, the oxygen uptake will be greater, more. And so if you a stronger man, you got more oxygen uptake, and then you can do a more heavier workload, just like the elite. Vice versa, right? So and it can also reflect, apart from the oxygen uptake, it can also reflect from our resting heart rate. So if you got a good CV function, cardiovascular function, and your resting heart rate will be lower. So many marathon runners, they have endurance training for the year, for the whole year, and they have a lower resting heart rate. Some has 40 something, and the normal resting heart rate is about 70. So you may find the difference.
One more question just from the chat box. Maybe this question is referred to the one that asking about the elite athletes in the world. Why they still have the immune system, or why they still have the COVID-19, I guess, is the disease that they want to mention, but they still have a strong immune system.
Yeah, that what I have mentioned in my PowerPoint, that nobody can guarantee that they won't get infected, but the most important thing is you got a strong immune system. The immune system, that means your cytotosis, that means your NK cells, T cells, do you have enough to defend your body? If you're strong enough, no problem. Even though Donald Trump recovered so fast, I think his immune system is not bad.
Thank you. Any more questions from the audience that are still here? We still have maybe 1 or 2 questions that we can ask. Okay, if no more, just thank you very much. Let's see.
Okay.
No more. No more.
No more.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ngai and Mr. Liu. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found this talk informative and fascinating. To express our sincere appreciation to Mr. Roy Ngai, we would like to invite Professor Esmond Mok to present a souvenir to Mr. Ngai. Professor Mok, please. Once again, thank you very much for spending time with us today. We look forward to welcoming you again at our upcoming talks. Lastly, please be reminded to scan this QR code and complete the online evaluation form. Goodbye.